Ha. Please get a seat. Seat. And yes, I asked the council members to get the rightful seat. Yes. Dale, come on. Where are the others?
Nobody wants to be first on stage.
No. I can go first on stage. I don't mind. Oh, hey. Sit everywhere you want.
There's going to be more people on stage.
Yeah. Or we all sit together here more closely. Heike, you want to come? Is it Pfizer?
I don't know. Paul is there.
Oh yeah.
Do you need me or I think it's okay?
Klaus
Daisy.
and Daisy. Come on.
I don't know, Dave is there.
Don't hide up. Desiree, come on. Klaus, du bist adviseur. Huh? Who? Maybe we can have a little bit more light in the hall because this is very difficult. I can't see anybody. Judith.
Do you need me? Yeah. Oh, cool, for the clothes.
Maybe we can distribute to that side. And Jeffrey, good. Okay. The purpose. Zeger. Maybe the front light a little bit less, because maybe I'm too old, but yeah, wonderful. Great. Okay, the purpose of this meeting is to have an open discussion on anything you want. And there have been requests to have such an open meeting 2 years ago and last year. So we were able to stage that this year. So we are as well very curious about what the open discussion will bring. But we make a round. You find the names in the program book. But maybe you mention your name and your country or whatever you want to mention. We just make a round.
Yeah, my name is Richard Hughes. I'm based in London in the UK.
My name is Desiree van Drongelen and I'm based in the Netherlands.
I'm Jeffrey Stevenson. I'm based in Scotland.
I'm Leen Larivière and married for 49 years.
That's your identity, huh? Yeah, I'm Dale Chapel, based in Lisbon, Portugal.
Klaus André Eickhoff from Wiesbaden, Germany.
Paul Yates from Bavaria in Germany.
Judith Stevenson from Scotland.
Okay. Who will stand up and raise the first questions? Open discussion. This can be about anything. About the programs you saw, about the collaboration workshops, the normal workshops, whatever. About me. Or not. No. Sure.
We have to get them rolling.
Huh?
We may have to ask a question or two.
Let me put a question already to you. What is your experience about the collaboration workshops? This was the first time done. So it was a big experiment, and we didn't know what to expect. So you have worked yourself through the collaboration workshop. So what's your experience? Was it good? Was it bad? Was it working or not? Or stand up. There is a microphone. And if needed, our friend Rompel will come to you. Say your name and the name of the collaboration workshop.
Yes. I'm Josko Rompel, and I was in the fusion collaboration workshop with dance and music and visual arts. And we just had a small feedback group round, and we all found out that it was really very, very precious and something special. Because in the usual workshops, you've got the chance either to learn something new, try something out, or get better in your own craft. But in this collaboration, I hear my sister translating. It's confusing me. You really have the chance to either, like a person like me who really does different things, to get these things together and try what it feels to do these different things at the same time, and also to have the chance to really get to know another art form in a different way, to collaborate in a kind of playful way. Usually when you want to collaborate with some other art form, you really have to try and find somebody, see if the chemistry is working, and have your own idea what is possible. And with these collaboration workshops here, you really get an idea what could be done, and try it out. And I think it's really, really precious. So thank you very much for this idea.
Anyone else?
Hi, I was in the collaboration workshop, music and dance, and stand up, okay. And my name is Anne Ruse from Germany, and normal I play classical flute. Here is my teacher, and but yesterday and today I played only effects, and it was a special experience of me, the best thing I've ever done in my life. And today I heard, but it is really so, I died a dancer with my flute. I killed a dancer with my flute, yes. So Heike, I've never learned it in the classical flute lesson, but here I have a special experience. Yes, it was very fantastic. Yes, we had one dancer, one instrumentalist, or yes.
Thank you.
Or some
perfect. Thank you.
dancers and some instrumentalists and with effects, and yeah, I give to you.
Are you sure? Yeah, I've been in the same collaboration. My name is Benjamin. I'm from Germany, and I'm a singer, and I accompany myself on the piano, or my students on the piano, and so I haven't experienced improvisation that much so far, and it was awesome just to react on somebody's movements with single notes, or with my voice, or with the whole grand piano and the wood of the piano as well, and stuff like this, or the strings only. That was awesome, and we did really great. First we didn't know how to do it, and then we came up with a chord progression, and later we got loose of the system more and more, and we became more free without any structure, and just working one-on-one with a musician and a dancer. That was awesome. And we had, I think none of us had experienced something like this before. Yeah, after she played a dancer into death, the dancer rose again, thankfully. We didn't have to pray that hard.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing. I just finished a collaboration fusion with music meets dance meets visual arts, and it was a very, very good experience. And yeah, like you just said, most people enjoyed it because to progress in your skill or in your art is nice, but collaborating with different art disciplines is just another challenge. And you learn different skills of communicating with each other. And so, yeah, it was a good experience for us as well. And I would like to mention that some of the people in our group thought that it would be nice also to be part of the begin process. So before you start the storyboard, before you even, because this was the first time, so the artists and teachers already prepared a little bit up front, have an idea. But some of the students really mentioned that next time they would like to be more part of the very first process of sitting down together and actually come up with an idea and do the storyboard and everything. So.
May I also comment on the collaborations? I had a great privilege and pleasure of looking at a few of them this morning, and Desiree's was a remarkable for 15, 16 people in the room from 3 or 4 different disciplines and art forms, and they were very carefully and being both free and methodical to work together. You have to with that many people. But I also saw Angélique and Jean-Pierre Rudolph, and there were 5 people altogether, very different collaboration. And I know from talking with Angélique that the chance to play, pour jouer, to explore in unusual ways for 2 hours was very, very special. For example, they made a rule that the dancers would do the opposite to the musicians. And how can you do that? You can't do that if you're worried about making a performance. But for them to explore was very exciting, so they said.
I may add something. The first thing, I was really unaware of what will happen, or afraid of how could that work, and why don't we have just the old structure of CA, let's go into workshops and improve my style or whatever. That's one thing. And the second thing, what we experienced in our group was that it is a lot about trusting each other. And this was something really special, to how much you have to rely on somebody, or I'm out of adjectives, but
There's someone here as well.
Where?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I had a question, but it wasn't about the collaboration workshop. So should I? Yeah.
You can ask any question you want.
Okay. So it's my first time in CA, and I had a question because during all the plenums that we had, there were a lot of intervention about business and how to help artists to be self-employed and to succeed in this way and to raise money. And I had a question to know if CA had collaboration, but with more business or marketers or consultants or people that are not artists, but that are like, yes, marketing skills, business skills, this kind of thing, to be able to collaborate with artists to help them in these areas. I don't know if it's clear.
Okay, let me rephrase. Does Christian artists have a relationship with specialists in those areas? Is that what you mean?
Yes, yes.
So maybe I should answer that then. There is a special website, Christian Artist Academy. And on that website, it is well mentioned in the beginning of the program book, you find all the artists and lecturers who have ever been to Christian artists. It's an incredible research tool. And there you can hop through the whole system and find a specialist that may be able to help you. And including all the artists and lectures you have seen this year, they are all on it. And through that website you can make contact. But you must realize that if you ask 1 or 2 questions, they will help you for nothing. When it really comes to courses, you have to pay that. They are highly skilled professionals and they live as well for a part as income. Yeah? So if you want to follow a class with Torsten Harder, well, here it is for free, but when you want private lessons from him, you have to pay him for that. Yeah? You must realize that. Then there is another possibility. We are linked to ESA, the European Center for Workers' Questions, and they have as well a website with lectors in all the social and political and economical sciences. And those are lectors who help trade unions to orientate, and the members of the trade unions. There are a few who may be helpful for that. But I don't know, in what city do you live?
Paris.
Paris, okay. Your friends are not the right coaches to bring you on with that. So some of the knowledge that was shared, you find off the level of academics. So I know at several of the Paris institutions are excellent studies, short courses in the field of economy and small businesses. So you have to search for that, because a course on running a small business fits perfectly for the work of a self-employed artist. So you better look in Paris then to find help and do that on a high level. That is the best help. Don't go for amateurs. It's no help.
Yeah.
You get me?
Yes, I have. Maybe my question was a little tricky because I'm not an artist, actually. I'm a marketer. I've been working in marketing for 10 years. And I know that I'm using arts a bit. And but for everything I've seen since I'm here, it's so amazing. I have a lot of ideas and inspiration to do things for the kingdom. But I was asking how, yes, practically or in terms of project, by my side, how, yes, how could I learn more? I mean, yes.
Okay, you mean in practical, so in the arts itself?
Yes, in how to use, maybe working on projects and being able to use my marketing skills for artistic projects, but not being like an artist. Or I was thinking.
So I think I understand that you're interested in workshops about marketing, managing artists, that area of work, which is not there's not really a great deal of workshops in that area, and that's something you're interested in developing or CA having here. So I think that was the question.
I personally think that would be an excellent element to add to the CA universe, because sometimes I think as artists we're not good self-promoters, you know, and having the expertise of someone who comes from a purely marketing background can be very educational for us. And as Lane was saying, just the whole fact of you perhaps taking advantage of the resources of the networking element, going online, and also knowing that you exist and people like you exist who are interested in helping the marketing side of artists can be very positive things. Exactly how that would all work, I'm not sure, but there is the possibility online to discover each other and to know where we are, you know, in terms of our contacts.
Maybe it's really a good collaboration idea to bring at CA together artists and marketing people and then just work out and see where everybody is and how we can support each other and help each other. So it also sounded a little bit like you're offering help also, and let's come together and find ourselves and do something.
Professor Roofdhof, who was one of the lecturers, he did last year a complete series of workshops on marketing.
Yeah.
Who has the mic?
I've got another idea for Krishnadas, something completely different again. The question I wanted you to ask, I can ask myself now. If there's anybody else here as an artist working with refugees, not teaching a language, but helping them in any way of artistic level. And I've been thinking if this might be interesting as kind of workshop or lecture or anything, because I think this is not only for Germany a big topic. And I imagine myself being an artist sitting somewhere, not being able to do my own art, and what we artists can do, and the responsibility that we have. And so anybody being busy in this, please contact me, and also perhaps there might be something to do this next year or so. Thank you.
It's a comment or it's a response to the question about the collaboration. Back to the question, I wanted to share that I was in the praying the Psalms, and we did a long psalm. It was 45 verses of Psalm 107. It was the absolutely most intense experience of prayer I've had in my life. And we prayed without words, so there are no words for what happened, but it was probably really similar to some of what you experience when you're interacting with your other art forms in the other moments, because what we're doing is pouring out ourselves and offering something and together. And I think it was so intensified with the other people, and to have it facilitated and space made for it was like a real gift to the people who participated, and I loved it. So anyway, it was very, very good. We were all we didn't even want to talk after it because we didn't want to ruin the moment of silence. But anyway, it was, and I would love to get your card. So I live in France, so I can connect you to a lot of people. That's another whole. But
thank you for your command. There, Andreas, in the back, our dear friend from Senegal. Notre ami de Senegal.
Bonjour.
We need Elvira as well, translation.
Bonjour. Alors, je voudrais parler de façon générale, globale, parce que je crois que la raison pourquoi nous sommes là, c'est parce que c'est vraiment la volonté de Dieu.
Okay, I want to give some general point of view, and I think that the reason why we are here is because it's God's will.
Je crois qu'il y a quelque chose que Dieu veut faire avec les arts pour rallier le monde à lui.
I think that God wants to do something with arts.
Et le problème, c'est que l'Église a longtemps existé entre elles. Elle était bloquée entre elles.
The problem is that church has for a long time been living on its own, apart from the world.
Alors, l'art va constituer comme un pont entre Dieu et l'Église.
So, art will be a bridge between God and the world.
Pour moi, ça a été dommage, vraiment dommage, que votre séminaire a existé 30 ans. Et nous, on ne sait rien du tout, on ne savait pas.
Okay, I think it's really, I really regret that this seminar has been existing for 30 years and we didn't know about it.
for me is... Pourquoi? Parce que nous, en Afrique, Dieu nous a parlé depuis longtemps de ce que vous êtes en train de faire là. Nous, Dieu nous a parlé à travers notre organisation en Afrique de rassembler les artistes et de partager ensemble en vue d'un mouvement pour le salut.
Okay. In Africa, it has been existing for a long time that Christian artists gather and have some in contact with the world and work like you do here.
Mais le problème, ma question, c'est comment nous, en Afrique, qui sommes loin de vous, comment on peut avoir votre soutien dans le domaine de counseling, votre appui dans ce sens-là pour réaliser ce genre de programme en Afrique?
Okay. My question is, so we are far away, we're living in Africa, and we are many artists, and we would like your help to do similar things, just a seminar like you have here, and do the same thing in Africa. So how can you help us?
Beaucoup des artistes en Afrique, ils ne connaissent pas et ils aimeraient avoir plus d'expérience. Donc moi et mon association, on aimerait savoir comment nous pouvons entrer en contact avec vous pour avoir des conseils de la façon dont nous aussi, on peut créer ce mouvement en Afrique.
Okay, so I would like to really keep in touch. And so that you can help us and give us advice so we can, with our organization in Africa, do the same thing as you did here.
I think that a good number of professionals from Europe will come over and help you. But you have to ask, and it must be planned long time ahead. Nobody can come based on improvisation. But there have been Christian artist seminars in Africa, in Nigeria, in South Africa. But through the years, that all faded away. So it needs as well a consistency factors to maintain it. So Ria and me, we are the consistent factors that keep things going from year to year to year. Just doing a thing one time makes no sense. It is the ongoing teaching and the ongoing possibility that is really making a change in a nation. As an example, the European Christian Artists Seminar that started in the years that in the churches was big conflicts about the arts. Dancing was a sin, rock music was from the devil, and all of that stuff. So, and what Christian artists have been doing to explain things to churches has been a beautiful healing experience. Today, all the things they were against are now normal in all the mainline churches. So, but it takes years for change, not tomorrow. But if you start doing things, the whole situation, the whole atmosphere will change step by step by step by step. Yeah. So I want to give you that as encouragement. The solution is not having people from Africa coming to this seminar. Well, you are there, which is great. You have to organize it in Africa within your own cultures. That is essential. Yeah? We don't want to see how to explain that? A view of a white culture, artists, professionals, laid on the other people's group globally who have an extreme rich culture itself. So you have to take out of this the essentials and adapt that to your own culture. Don't ask Sandy Petty's, Michael W. Smith of Amy Grant to come. It's no help. It's no help. Yeah? The answers are in your own culture, but then loaded with the transcendent things that comes from God, from the Holy Spirit, from professionalism. And you will have a great future and you will change your nation.
I think it's a really great idea what you're asking and trying to do. I think you should be more specific on what help you need. If you need more help on structuring a program, then you should formulate your question more specifically. I totally agree with Lane that it should not be a copy of the European version. But I do think there could be some nice collaborations, for example, with Richard, because he's been in Africa. And so you could think of a few people to collaborate with you.
Yeah, I'm just picking up from Liam was saying, as we know, art comes from culture and history. And when I go places, I'm very much about not putting too much of me onto other people. And I'm very much about people showing me what they know. And again, I think some of us would be very willing to, I would come over, it's a big place, Africa, so I assume, wherever you are in Africa, I would, for example, come over and bring some equipment, but I wouldn't want to bring equipment that I will take away again and then people will never have access to and never see. I'd much rather go, what equipment have you got here? What have you got access to? And let's work with your resources and you guys do it. And then when I leave, you can keep doing it. And you do it your way, and I'll learn from what you're doing. So many of us would come in, I think, with that mindset, but also be very interested in coming along. But I think we will gain more than we will be able to give in some ways.
Yeah. Then I was teaching there in Africa. I was teaching the principles, but never said professional music is that, or professional dance is that, or professional painting is that. I mean, that's a decision you have to make within your own culture. I mean, here in Western Europe, as we are all Europeans, we know exactly what we mean with that. So, take the principles from us and work on your own artist. I believe strongly in that.
But you can also make co-production.
Yeah.
I did that with the African.
We did that with the African music, and we translated it, and we used African instruments and other instruments, and we went to Africa. And we taught the same songs to children here in Europe, and that was so nice to do. So sometimes it helps, like you did this morning in the groups, to go with some people to his place and also learn from them. You say we are the whites and they are the blacks, but. We can learn so much from each other. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes. Yes, my name is George. I'm from the Netherlands. And from the first time I came in contact with the CA, I was really in love. I'm still am, and I'm gonna stay in love. And this year is my second year, and I was talking around with a lot of artists and people over the floor, and so everybody was happy with what they were doing. And I realized that things are growing. Relationships are growing, even projects are growing. I've been talking to artists who wants to collaborate with each other, and I thought, ooh, so maybe in the future there will be writers' camps at the Christian Artist Seminar. But I was wondering if there's a possibility to see the how do you say it in English? The collaborations that came on at CA, if we can follow that on a certain point somewhere, that the people take initiative by themselves to place it or maybe mail it to the CA, so other people can see and can follow that there's really life after CA. So that you can see that what's being planted here is really getting into the world and really have different, how do you say it? Really things are changing in a society. I think it's really important if something like that can come to life, because I think that's heritage for the next generation to see, oh, so that's why I need to go to the CA. So this is a open thing. I don't know if it's there already or maybe it can be coming. But I think it would be really good if I can see what my friend here is doing. If there is a new CD coming out, how do I gonna know it? So Facebook helps a little bit, but that's still, it's Facebook. It's the American thing. But I wonder if something like that could happen in the future. That was a question to the CA board.
I think it's difficult in a sense for the practical outworkings to be controlled by an organization like Christian Artists. That's not our responsibility, so to speak. Having been involved with CA for so many years, I can tell you that it's had an incredible impact in the way I work and the way I function and the things I have done with other people. And I end up knowing about a lot of other things because, first of all, because of the friendships that we develop here. Of course, there's the artistic interaction, but there is this element of friendship that causes us to want to seek out and to know what others are doing. And frankly, Facebook has been very, very positive in that regard. There's even a tribe Facebook page, I believe it's called, that people can join if they want to, and actually that's what's happening. People are sharing specific things that they're doing, and I think it's rather easy to join that group. But I just wanted to, I think it would be a bit, I don't want to say it's too idealistic to think that Christian Artists would actually be promoting afterwards the works of people, because the seminar itself is not that animal. But we can, as individuals who have received and are working together, promote and inform and seek out. You know, it's very easy to find out where we are precisely through the network that Lane already mentioned, and things like Facebook or other things. But I think the history of CA has taught us that perhaps we don't realize how much we have been impacted in our art from being at CA and what has been created as a result of CA. And of course, that's much bigger than all of us. And from God's perspective, of course, there's all kinds of things happening. But I'm not sure if I totally understood what your desire would be in terms of a way to have that be better communicated after CA.
Yes, I'm not expecting it from the CA because I know it's not CA's responsibility to do that. But the reason why I throw this up to see if we can take an initiative, somebody. Yeah. But my main question is, can I land it somewhere? Is it possible? Is it open to land the products of the things that be coming out somewhere? You know, even if it not has to be somebody from the CA, but maybe a magazine. Let me say I call a magazine and say like, hey, can you follow up the artist's work so we can know that, over there you can read about the new adventure of the new dance choreography of, you know, something like that. I was just thinking out loud to see if it's possible to land the project somewhere, so we can follow them.
There are the communities of practice, which we talked about on the very first afternoon. And, you know, if you weren't here on Saturday afternoon, I do encourage you to come and talk to me about it, or, you know, and that was just simply sharing email addresses. And then, but that's within, of course, a particular discipline, so that we get together online and keep in touch with one another. So I would encourage you to do that, because that's a small beginning, and perhaps will lead to greater things, and maybe there will be crossovers across the different disciplines through that. We'll have to see.
Another question comes up in my mind while we're discussing here. What is the future of Christian artists? What is the future now? Because I think Lane and Ria getting older. What to do with this?
Just a second, because I think we didn't finish the subject of information distribution. So I have another one here. Maybe you can answer that afterwards.
Just a short thing to add. The communities of practice, it was very good that we invented that last year and that we come up with that this year as well. But last year we did it on the 3rd or 4th day, I think. And this year we had it on Saturday afternoon when half of the people weren't here. And you should mention this, and we should work that out, that we have this maybe twice in the week. It was very good to have it in the beginning, to give new people the feeling that they are welcomed into a group of people from their art form very quickly and on the first day, because this is something difficult if you come to a conference like this and you are new, you are on your own, and that helped very well for them. But we experienced in that group or in that tribe of singers from the first moment that we should have a second meeting throughout that week. And that might help if that would have been scheduled from the beginning.
Yeah, thank you. I think you're absolutely right. And we'll do our best to do that next year. Yeah.
Another amendment to that. I was also thinking about a newsletter or something centrally organized, but then you have to have someone who's dedicated to that job and who has the ability and the time and maybe the money to collect all the information and then order it in a certain time. So the next step in my thinking was just exactly as you said, the communities of practice, to use these as a platform and maybe to find within that group someone who might be an editor kind of guy who would be a blog author, who would create some blog entries within his own realm. And so maybe we have a set of 4 or 5 people who are officially, more or less officially authorized by CA centrally, but they have the opportunity to collect their information, and they are maybe presented on the website as the focal point for the information.
Great idea, and please may it be somebody young for each one. I'm only talking from my own point of view.
Yeah. We have to find young people doing that, and they can get from me and from Jacqueline a lot of information, but I'm not going to do it. I'm too old. And that is well good to understand. Yeah. Based on time.
We have the question from...
Yeah, the open question about the future.
Yeah, that's... What?
Torsten, I know this question is the last years, of course, coming, and I understand. We really are old people, Lane and me. But on the other hand, I hope you saw us this week. I can say we almost do nothing. Lane is doing yeah, of course, at the evening, and please, so long he is alive, give him that place. He say good things, and he still can say it. We are not too old to tell the stories. And you see me, I do nothing. I am around. Everything is doing, I can tell you, is doing Jacqueline behind, and that's almost too much. Dus there is already, you know, something. And very honest, Torsten, we started it in 81, and when I became 60, 62, 65, I was almost discussing with Lane, maybe we need to stop this. Every year I think that, I can tell you. For many years, Torsten, I think we need to stop this. And I'm also a little tired about the whole thing. I like you, but what started last year, I'm also very amazed. In the council, we start to do the collaboration with each other. Now that worked. And we start to have new talent. That started last year. We had a sponsor to sponsor that. It's a lot of money. They are here. There are 10 people. Few are now. And there are, again, 10 people. 10 new artists again. And we sponsor that. And I'm amazed about it. And surprised about how many young people are here this week. What we did, I think, we did nothing, it came. They came. So it's a kind of natural process. I was yesterday evening, it was yesterday evening where we had, the evening before, there happened something after the most of things is after the concerts. And they were dancing and singing and drinking, of course. And sometimes too much, some start smoking here, I'm sorry for that. But all that kind of stuff happens here. And then I say to somebody as a kind of black joke, I can die. You know what I mean? It seems strange what I say. We were also thinking about, there is a natural process here going, and I also don't know where it goes. I think we stay here, Torsten, till we die. But I don't know, maybe the process start different. I don't, kijk, you need to know, Torsten, what we doing as a staff, it's volunteers work. She is doing it the whole year as a volunteer. She's not paid for it. And there is a limit how long you can do that. Kijk, for us, that's much easier, want we do it so long. So we know how it works. But please, I can tell you, Torsten, now it seems almost natural that the young people take over. It's almost a natural process. What we see, it's amazing. I don't know what that's for us. Wow, what we have nothing to do with that. It's working. You are almost, Torsten. You are one of the older. Huh? Yes, you are in your 50s. You are also one of the older. And there is, no, it's great. It's so amazing to see the young people there. That's the future. We die one day. And it's sad. I feel sad for myself, but it's okay. You know, I hope it's an answer of...
From
my heart, I'm sorry.
From my perspective, I must have been here maybe 8 years or so, I think, and I've seen it last few years. I thought, okay, it's petering out, it's coming to an end, but this year, and you know, I've seen it's been revived, and I love the organicness of, we don't know where it's going to go, but it's changing, and I like that. And for me, it's growing again. It's the tree has grown and the seeds have come off, and those seeds are now have bedded themselves in the soil, and they're starting to grow again. And I like that. And the old tree is still there, looking over the young saplings growing, and that's what I see this year. And they're still very young, but they're starting to grow, and they will grow into big trees What trees there'll be, I don't know, but I think that's where I see it at the moment for me.
Is that a little bit an answer? Just to add a little bit to what Ria said. There was no CA in 2014 because we had a terrible fight with the European Commission, ESA, that dealt with the structure of the seminar. And they did not agree how before 2014 the things was organized with the plenums. So we did not get any money in 2014, so we couldn't do it. And then that is a lot of political discussion and how that all works. I don't want to annoy you with that. And then we got an okay on 2015, and that's the reason we only did it 2.5 days. And then plenary. So we could show to the European Union we were going by the book. And we gained trust. So we could apply again for the money for 2016. And we could add again workshops. That was not possible in 2015. And then they said again, okay, you do there your plenums. That has to be there for so many hours. You go by the book. Go on. We had our 2 Polish people here as official spies. They went home totally converted and wrote a nice report. So we could file again the papers for 2017. And in the pre-discussions with ESA, we came to the solution to, instead of 2 plenary days, we used the Saturday to start up. So many people were there already at 4 o'clock, and we have to press on next year that everybody will be there at 4 o'clock when we start. So as well, the community of practice will function better. But then we have Monday afternoon, no plenum, and we can move on with the workshops. And that's the reason we come back to the original formula of 5 days, which is more or less the maximum we all can have based on your energy, your focus, and a lot of other things, and the whole process. The whole process of Christian artists takes place in 5 days. Yeah? And up till now, everybody's happy with the result. We have done our plenums. Then we broke up the plenums with live interviews, and everybody is saying that's a marvelous solution. So you have theory and practice there together. And even there is already a recommendation made to the European Commission that what they have seen here, what we developed, should be leitmotif for many other seminars to bring in this way the practical part and not just theoretical models. So if you look to the future, I think where we are now is the new model Christian Art 3.0. And this is more or less the model we are going to move as well to next year. There are some little things we have to change, but that's part of the experimental process. Yeah. So the collaboration works as an example. Nobody knew how that was going to happen, because vital is not the outcome, but the process. So it seems that worked out fine, so that will be carried on, and so on. So the future goes in an organic way from year to year. And there are some other influences, like what from the political realm come. We have to work with that. That's a very sensitive process, because I have to, let's say as example, I have to work on the next seminar 1.5 years before. Yeah? That's always crazy, but there is no other solution. So in May of this year, in June, I had to solve the major problems of next year. Yeah? So it works. There's no other way. That's the system. Based on time.
Could I just ask a question, Lane?
Yeah? What? One last thing, because...
George wanted to say something.
Okay, George.
Maybe one short statement, and then we head for the lunch.
Then we have to stop.
Yes.
Except that,
yeah, okay.
I have a question about Brexit.
Yeah.
Because we have a lot of key people here on the committee, on the board, who play a very important role in CA. And how does it work then with the sponsorship when Brexit has been complete?
For sure is that it is going to be a tough landing with the Brexit, not a soft solution. It means that, well, believe me, because there have been such a crisis in the past with Norway, who was part of the European Union and stepped out in the beginning of the process. It means that for seminars and conferences and trainings and a lot of other stuff, when people come from the nations who are not EU, they have to pay it 100% themselves. So they're not excluded. There will be nobody to say to British people, you cannot come. But it means there is no funding for them. So for the British people who are essential for CA,
we can watch on Skype.
We have to find other sponsorship to make it possible, and we will. If we don't, we'll leave them out. They are part of CA. And we cannot help that some people voted out in Britain, and they are going, no, I know. They will regret it, but we will find a solution for that. But that is not for next year. The problem will arise in 2019. I gave a good answer to Torsten.
Sorry.
I want to say something about... Kijk, Leen, you gave an answer and you gave no answer to Torsten. Kijk, the point is, I understand what you mean. That's also, I can really tell you, that's also the sorrow we have. When I die, you can go on and he can go on. But when Leen died, then we have a problem. We really have a problem in how to go on. Not in the organic way where we are doing, but what Leen is doing with the subsidy and all that kind of things. That's a unique thing. That there we have also nothing to do with that. He knows how that works and he likes it also. I can tell you, but he knows. And everything we can, we took over almost everything of him. He is sleeping every night, every afternoon, and we take care of him that he is not doing too much, and he is doing that. But we made a decision. So long he can do that the subsidy, well, nobody of us can take that. It's a real big thing. But when that happens, then and maybe the future next year we find somebody who can take that. You know, we are also thinking about that. But that's the only thing. We are very happy that he is. Yeah, it's a specialism, and now I hope it will give a good answer. But really, we think about the future, and you see now that organic, that is the best thing he said. There is an organic thing happening. Also, we see it. And yeah, the future is also for us. We know next year it's there. But, okay. I hope, is it a good answer?
Yeah. Okay.
For Torsten.
I still have not found where I'm looking for, to say the famous quote. Because what I do, the profile is, it must be a person who is totally knows all the ways within the trade unions, must know all the ways in the political world, not only in your own nation but in Europe, and knows that whole system works. And that is complicated. I mean, I got there as a result of many, many years of practice and showing up in so many places in Europe, political meetings, trade union meetings. I've been all over the place. Every year I'm at a different European trade union meeting somewhere in Europe. Don't ask me if I like it. I hate it. But you have to be there. Because there you make the connections and there you make it work. So that is unseen what I do. But on the other hand, it's great fun. Because part of my costs are paid and I see all of Europe for you. Thank you. Okay, we have to bring it to a close because the meal.
Short, yeah. For Torsten, I listened to you and you asked a question to Lena Ria, but I'm asking the question to you too, because you are you are something special also in the CA. So now I'm wondering, when do I'm going to see your apprentice? Your apprentice. So I'm looking forward for the future seminars to see one of your students playing next to you on stage, so we can give the knowledge through, not only your musical knowledge, but also the family knowledge from the CA. And I speak it out to all of the people who was giving lessons in the CA. So next time they come back, find a sponsor or something and take with you a apprentice, a student, so the student can walk in your path and give along what you have been learning from the rest of the years. Yes, this for me it's an encouragement to you.
You must have long
Okay.
hair.
Yeah. So next year again, we hope to see 10 young people. That's a separate sponsorship situation, and Drie and I will take care of that. That money will show up. That's not coming from the EU, so that you know. Okay, I have 2 announcements. Future Stage is in the room Joseph Strings Forum. Strings Forum? Frings. Oh yeah, not strings. Joseph Frings Forum at 1:15 till 1:30, and after that they go to the church because the girl Priscilla Vlak will play organ. Oh, that's interesting. And there's another one. Arts for Therapy group meets at 6:45 tonight. Daggarten. It's a terrace outside. And as well, to repeat, we are looking for the artists who are working with refugees. Yoshiko, that's correct, so? Okay. Well, thank you for your input. And you're great people. And let's see what lunch will bring us. Bless you.